Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you are keeping well wherever you are in the world and that you're seeing increasing number of aircraft returning to your stations. We hear good things, fingers crossed. This is the final ever issue collector's item of the GHI Covid-19 Aviation Weekly. That's right, 19 issues in, and it seemed too poetic an opportunity not to take advantage of and say that now was the time to draw this newsletter to a close. Not because we don't believe that Covid-19 continues to be an ongoing and deep operational challenge for all of you in aviation, but because we believe that our focus must now shift towards delivering the safe and successful 22nd annual GHI conference in Copenhagen at the end of November that we know our audience, you guys, so greatly desire to see. So whilst this newsletter will come to a close, we will be developing a new sister launch which will cover all of the annual conference news. Look out for that one. It's going to happen in the middle of August. We'll be covering the latest plans we have around keeping you guys safe, around sponsor sign up, around who's going to be there, around a terrific one-to-one meeting services that we're going to be delivering there in Copenhagen. We'll send that through to you, so do look out for it in your inboxes from mid-August. We started this newsletter back in March, 23rd of March, and at the time we set out to deliver a mission statement to bring you, the world's aviation community, together in a time of crisis to share best practice and news about how we combat the coronavirus. It has been a whirlwind ride over the last 19 weeks or so. We've brought you news of some very bleak furloughing and redundancies that have gone on within the sector. It has been an incredibly difficult, the worst of times, but also the best of times. There's been some great stories of innovation, of airline and handlers coming together, of ground crews getting out into holes and offloading masks and medical equipment, thousands of items that have gone onto hospitals, and they have saved lives. Our teams have been at the forefront of that, and it's terrific to see. There have also been great examples of adoption of automation and innovation. We've heard about some of those at our webinars, which have been another high point over the past few months. And that theme that has shone through during the webinars of stakeholders coming together, working in partnership towards a greater goal to survive this crisis, has been really uplifting. The webinars, as I say, have been a real proud moment for all of us on the team at GHI. It is an example of us adopting innovation and automation because with something we talked about and we've never had the impetus perhaps to go ahead and launch. Well, we've done that over the last 3.5 months, and we're delighted to see more than 400 of you guys, our stakeholders, on some of the sessions. Those will continue. Of course, they will continue. We have a session taking place on Thursday on winter operations. Please join us for that one. We also have a session coming up in 2 weeks' time on taking advantage of the cargo opportunity. We've seen so many temporary conversions during this crisis, and there is a lack of supply and facilities at airports to process some of that cargo. What an opportunity for ground handling to swoop in and to drive new revenue streams. We also have further sessions taking place in sustainability, ramp safety in September, and many more planned for this year and beyond. That will be a fixture, the GHI webinars. Okay, just wanted to show you something before I depart, and let's do this fun stuff around share my screen and see if we can get it to work. I just wanted to show you a slide. So as I say, we launched the GHI Covid-19 Aviation Weekly back at the end of March. This is a volume plot from Eurocontrol. It's been a source of some interesting stories for us over the past few issues, and we feature one today. You can see that back around launch time, 23rd of March, volumes plummeted to 88%. Reports from Ryanair of higher than that, into the 90s at that point. There were dust balls blowing across runways. But you can see that over this 19-week period of the newsletter, whilst it has not been instant, we have seen in Europe a steady climbing of the volumes, recovering particularly high input around the 1st of July, holiday season, with some of the low-cost carriers getting underway. We were at minus 38% of traditional 2019 volumes around July the 20th. There is a story in the newsletter this week which identifies a recovery up to 60% of 2019 volumes by mid-August and beyond. So Okay, fingers crossed, and some really encouraging signs. However, Mr. Boris Johnson, please note the line below, which is the grey line, which indicates what happens with volumes with uncoordinated measures. You can see that the plot is that the gradient is less steep, and that we are seeing a much slower recovery in our volumes if we don't act in unison, if we do not play as a team, Boris. And if we all act unilaterally, then this recovery will slow down. Read more about my angst in my comment piece. So encouraging signs. Let's hope that snap quarantines that we've seen in the UK this week are the exception and not the rule. I will share my screen, close my screen there. And just finally, I want to say a big thank you to many of our contributors, to Desiree Perez, who has provided excellent comment pieces throughout the last 19 weeks. Thank you very much, Desiree. Thank you very much to Wolfgang Fasching at Agora Consulting. Again, Wolfgang has been a consistent and high quality contributor to almost all of the issues of the COVID-19 Weekly, and they both had me hounding them on a Wednesday to get their copy in. So thank you very much, guys. And both display that raw passion for aviation. They want to write about the industry, and they want to contribute their views and help you guys out during this time of crisis, which is just fabulous to see. And finally, thank you to all of you, because you're what's kept us going over the past 3.5 months. And we talked at the launch of the newsletter about, in a time of crisis, that's the measure of a community. That's when a community comes together to work together and support one another. And without your emails and comments and calls and posts, it would have been a really even more difficult 4 or so months for myself and the GHI team. You really have given us that fuel to get us through what has been a very dark period for us and for all of you. You've really helped us out. You've really given us a reason to continue publishing these newsletters and to spread the word across the community. So thank you all very much for your support. Please get in touch, drop me an email, drop me a line, let me know what you've thought of the newsletter as a concept. This is not the end. We move our goal on to the annual at the end of the year. There will be that newsletter I mentioned that will be with you mid-August time, so do look out for that, covering all the news in the build up to Copenhagen. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in the flesh, away from video calls, to say hello in person, as are the rest of the GHI team. We will see you in Copenhagen. Thank you all very much, and take care.